Good evening, everyone, and welcome to live and uninterrupted coverage of the round. This is round 8, I think. Yeah, round 8 of the 2012 Sim Inc. GPVWC Super League, and we are here for the Korean Grand Prix. I'm Scott Woodwiss. I'm flying solo tonight. I'm doing your broadcast commentary and cameras for tonight. So any mistakes or any kind of problems that we have, just do bear with me, as it just is me on my. Just watching on here, Ruud Heesterbeek on the qualifying lap. We are about 10 minutes from the end of the qualifying session for this, the first ever Korean Grand Prix for Super League. And just watching here, Ruud Heesterbeek coming around the final corner here onto the pit straight. Let's see where this lap time puts him. Current pole time is a 1:36.368. Across the line he comes. He goes to 7th, so that's not a bad effort from him, as you see now going to turn 1. So yes, we are here in Korea for the first time at the Yeongam province, or the Yeongam area, the Korea International Circuit. Only constructed in 2010, it's a brand new venue really, and obviously, again, as I said, first time we're here, so all the drivers have been learning to try and see exactly what secrets this track holds. Let's just quickly take you through the top 10 that we have at the moment, and just go through them. Currently, quickest at the moment is the man you're seeing on screen here, Nick Rowland for Midnight Motorsports, not really a surprise from him there. Second quickest at the moment we have Mr. Dave Carr-Smith, he currently makes up the front row of the grid. Then we have in third place, we have actually OJ Clark, who's actually racing for Red Archer in this occasion. That's quite interesting to see him in the Red Archer on here, but there he is on track there, so obviously he has switched teams. Jarl Tyen is currently fourth, you're seeing on screen. He's actually exiting the pits again here. You'll see him for, but there he's actually back in the pits now, so he's just making way back out there, as you see. In fifth place, we have Lewis Redshaw for Hawkeye Racing. Sixth currently is Simon Cattell, who just exited the pits now for Kerno Sports. Seventh is a man who's looked pretty quick on the server, pretty much during the break between. Look at that! In fact, he's actually gone quicker than Nick Rowland. He's looking super quick here. We'll stay with Heesterbeek again. Just going through the last sector here. We'll touch on this last sector here a little bit more later on in the program. But here comes Heesterbeek then. What a lap this could be! Down onto the pit straight. And across the line he comes. Is it going to be quicker than Nick Rowland? The answer is no, it's not, but it does put him onto the front row of the grid for the moment. A 1:36.5 from Heesterbeek. Keeping some with the other drivers. Now 7th is out, down to 7th is now Simon Cattell. 8th is now Boyd Bryson. Excellent job he's done in the Woods racing car. And then we've got 9th is Vinod Moodley for Hawkeye Racing. So there's a lot of drivers that are out of position here in terms of drivers that are up there in the field that you probably wouldn't normally expect. Then you 10th place, we have Matt Clipp. There's probably quite a few drivers that haven't set a lap time just yet. Let's see if we can find anyone on here, any of the big guns who haven't set a lap just yet. Well, let's just take you with one of the new drivers for this race, and it is in fact Mr. James Shepherd. Now, more about James Shepherd here. Now, the car you're seeing there, if you tuned into GPVWC before and don't recognise the car you're seeing there, it looks similar to a Hawkeye. Don't worry, it's not a Hawkeye. It's actually a Red 5. Reason being because the Red 5 team have actually been bought by the man in that car right now, James Shepherd. The team is still going to be called Red 5, but it is himself and a German driver by the name of Florian Strauss. They are going to be up there. But look at Shepherd there. They're up to 5th place with that time there on a 1:30. So I'm trying to look at the time at the same time here. 1:37.338. He goes there. Times changeable time. Actually, his teammate Florian Strauss. We'll take you with him for a second if we can find him. There he is. Now, Florian Strauss, if we go on board with him on this lap, Florian Strauss, if anyone knows him in sim racing, he is known as Mr. Virtual V8 Supercar. Now, the reason for that being is because he is the reigning Touring Pro Series Virtual V8 Supercar champion. Apparently, he doesn't have that much experience in single seaters. He is more of a GT and touring car specialist. So, at the moment, currently on this lap, he's 1.7 seconds down, the fastest time set by, well, you guessed it, Lucas Euler. He has just gone top on a 1:35.414. That is practically a set than his teammate Nick Rowland, so it's going to be, looks like, another midnight front row, but it's the contest for best of the rest, if you like, in some cases, behind them, which is hotting up pretty intensely. And we're watching Strauss. He's 2.5 seconds at the moment off of Luke Euler's, and just looking through this final sector. This final sector here, it's kind of he's gone very wide there on the exit. In fact, he may just possibly be laying a couple of cars. It looks like that's one of the Drake racing machines he's let through. Trying to see if we can catch who that is. Is that Lee Morris? It's not. It's look at his key story actually, because Lee Morris is actually already halfway around the lap at the moment, and Strauss is back in the pits. Now you're seeing here, of course, our current provisional pole sitter, Lucas Euler. And no surprise that we've got both the midnights. Oh, that's very wide on the exit there. Through turn, I think that's roughly through turn 14 or so. That's through turns 15 and 6, and actually turn 16. It's kind of a double apex left-hander really. Then this long right-hander of turn 17, then through the kink. And is this that time going to be any quicker? I don't think so. We'll have a look across the line. And, well no, he's slower by quite a bit actually. He's slower by about half a second, so... And that I think was it. It misses braking completely into turn 1. And allows one of the Nijo racing cars to go through. Quickly take you through some of the driver changes. As we said, we've got Shepherd and Strauss in at Red 5 Racing. Of course, we've also got OJ Clark, as we said, in at Red Archer. We've also got, looking through here, I can see Boyd Bryson's going to be driving Forwards Racing alongside Kieran Ryan. No Tom Parker for this race. Also, we have John McLean, who's driving for the Synergetic Motorsports team. He is currently in 21st. But no, it's actually Mark Fuller, actually. It's 20 CNST racing car back as well. But there's John McLean coming on a lap. He's 4.5 seconds off pole. So there's a big difference here, obviously, between the top cars and the top drivers and cars lower down in the field. Now, just trying to keep my eyes out here on my own broadcast feed to see whether there's any drivers that are on a lap at the moment. We have got Lee Morris out on a lap at the moment. We'll see if we can possibly ride with him. Get an onboard camera with him. Now, Lee Morris, I know for a fact that Drake have actually been struggling quite a lot, had a very tough practice session. There are 3 drivers, obviously, which myself, I actually drive for Drake Racing in practice, if anyone wasn't sure. Lee Morris and Keith Story, bit of a tough practice session. Other teams had some difficulties in that session as well. A few spin-offs. I think a couple of Anijo cars had a very tough practice session as well. In Cruise, I think it's possibly could be an outlap then for Lee Morris as he just coasts on this outlap here. So, being flashed through the sector there. Also, we've got another driver in Synergetic that I haven't spotted. He's actually currently out on track, and he's actually in what looks like the old car that OJ Clark occupied, and that is actually Daniel Lovett. He is driving the Synergetic car. We'll see if we can grab him on camera. There he is. There is Daniel Lovett there. Oh, a bit of a see-through car there. Apologies for that. There's a bit of a graphical glitch there. Hopefully there won't be... yeah, actually we'll leave that actually. I think we'll try and find another driver. That's better. Obviously Lucas Oliver there sat in the pit, so we've got Nick Rowland out at all. It's actually Dave Carl Smith actually. Dave Carl Smith has actually put his car into 2nd place. This could be... For what? This could be a surprise actually, look at that. Dave Carl Smith could potentially split the 2 Midnight Motorsport cars, and that could be quite interesting. Of course, if anyone who knows the personnel for Midnight Motorsport, they know that Dave Carl Smith is actually a part of Midnight Motorsport. Yeah, he's actually the team manager, if you like, or some case, so he looks after the team as the technical director. So, but he also, of course, does drive for Green Stripes Racing. We've got Reece Easterbeek here in 4th place. What a performance he's put in. The Dutchman here, definitely a strong driver. He's put some very strong, consistent performances over the few races. And also, I believe the second Nijo car is going to be driven by Ben Warren again. He's currently 23rd on a 142. Actually, he's 24th, actually, because Daniel Lovett jumps up to 21st. 24th is Ben Warren on a 142.215. Let's quickly take you down the top 10 then, as we come to 2.5 minutes left of the session. Currently first and in the pits at the moment, you can see is Mr. Lucas Euler, and really doesn't really go out at all very much because he is 7/10 of a second ahead of this man, which is Dave Carl Smith in 2nd. 3rd place out on track at the moment, trying to reclaim that front row spot is Nick Rowland. Oh, and that's over the grass. And I think probably getting bulked by the ST. I think that's Mark Fuller actually. I think. And I'm not quite sure what Mark was doing. I presume he's on a lap, and look at this. They're side by side. And this is on a qualified lap, and I don't think Roland will be very appreciative of that. In fact, he may just even put in a protest against the ST Racing driver. But oh, and there goes one of the ST Racing cars. I think that definitely was Mark Fuller. Mark Fuller is the man who has spun on the exit, and there he is. He's gone back to the pits. We can have a quick replay of that actually. You can see exactly what happened. And there he goes. Oh, and he got caught by one of the Nijo Racing cars. He got caught by one of the Nijo Racing cars, and I think that may have been Ben Warren. But nonetheless, he's back out again with 1 minute 20 seconds left to go. As we see if we can find There's Dave Carl-Smith out there again as well. Also got Lee Morris. Lee Morris has gone to third. Lee Morris jumps to third at 1:36 with 1:80, so he's definitely put the power down, and he's aiming to try and get himself onto the front row of the grid. Let's just see exactly how far behind he is to... He's actually right behind Dave Carl-Smith. So if he can find himself just a few more hundredths, he may just be able to get himself onto the front row. What an effort this could be. We'll ride with Morris now then. Now what can he do? What kind of lap can he produce? Is he up at all? He is up. He's actually got the fastest first sector of anyone. And this could be a super lap if he can put it together. We'll stay with this one. Through Lee Morris goes. Turn 10. And then through turn 11. Let's take you through the rest of the lap then. Turn 11, long left-hander, wide radius, double apex left-hander, tightens needed then 150 miles an hour. Then through turn 12, 90 miles an hour. Lots of downforce needed for this upcoming sector. Turn 13, 140 miles an hour through here. Then turn 14 down to 110, turning from the edge of the wall as Lee does. Now turns 15 and 16, a double, effectively one long sweeping arc. And it's important to take good speed into this last corner. And here he comes and onto the pit straight. What will this do for Lee Morris onto the pit straight? Can he get himself onto the front row? Here he comes. Is it going to be a front row place for Lee Morris? Answer is yes, it is. Lee Morris goes second, and he takes the position from Dave Carl-Smith. And what will Dave Carl-Smith be able to do from that one? Well, that was a sensational lap for Lee Morris. What a time he set there. And actually see Dave Carl-Smith is out there for one final effort. It looks as though the Oiler has pole position by quite a margin, but what about the battle for second place? Nick Rowland's apparently been struggling with steering issues all this time. He's been practicing on the server. But here comes Dave Carl-Smith then. We'll stay with this one. We'll go on board with him here. And let's see what he can do on this lap as he swings through turn 4. You need to get a nice rhythm through turns 5 and 6 here. Very slow corners, very twisty section of the circuit, and good traction is needed out of turn 6 as he gets to here. Now what about the sector time? What has he managed? And he's off. He's only off by 1/10.5. So, but remember, Morris's sector time was about 1/10 quicker, so that could be quite interesting in the outcome of this one. Carl-Smith is going to need a mega final 2 sectors. Oh, bit of a twitch out of turn 10 if he goes through turn 11. Very wide radius corner here, and it tightens up on the exit there, and he's gone quite over the curbs, and he's lost time as well. I think this isn't going to be enough, I don't think, but we'll have to wait and see. And he may be balked by this car in front. He's moved out of the way. Now, what is it going to do for Carl-Smith if he comes round to 50 and 60? Another twitch, and that could possibly have taken his chance of reclaiming the front row again. Onto the pit straight. Now, is it going to be enough? Has he lost enough time, or is he still going to get the front row? The answer is no, it isn't. He's off by 0.3 of a second, and on that time, and he still stays third. Are there any more cars out there on lap times? David Junt's out there in 8th place on a lap time, I think. Let's have a look. As is Nick Rowland's out on a lap time as well. And we'll cut to him then. And he's actually had quite a poor lap time, so he's actually going to probably cruise in. So it's not going to do anything to change his situation from 5th. But what a session that is. And that's quite unexpected, I think, from Lee Morris. What an effort he put in to put the car in 2nd place. And he'll be absolutely delighted with that one. And what an interesting session that was. Quickly bring you with David Junt as he comes onto the pit straight. And he actually pits in as well, so comes in. And that's pretty much the session over then, so we'll take you through the top 10 as they currently stand, as David Junt pulls the red Archer into the pits. And this is the final standing then for the qualifying session. So Lucas Euler, well, it's no surprise really, he's on pole position with a 1:35.414. Ahead of him, second, what an effort he put in for Lee Morris in the drag racing car, 1:36.114. Then just behind him in 3rd place is Dave Carl-Smith in the Green Stripes racing machine, 1:36.129. 4th, what an effort he put in as well. Qualifying specialist OJ Clark to put it 4th for Red Archer. He could have a fantastic race today if his luck holds, on a 1:36.344. 5th for Nick Rowland. We said he had some steering problems here all this time he's been practicing. So 5th place, he's definitely going to be disappointed with that one. 1:36.368. Then on to 6th place is Ruby Easterbeek. Another solid performance from him in qualifying to put himself 6th. And the times have just disappeared from my screen. 7th is Jarl Tyan, who's actually disappeared from the pit box. There he is. He's actually heading out now. 8th was David Junt for Red Archer. So what a solid qualifying that is for Red Archer. Good stuff they've made. They've obviously made some steps in the 2 weeks since Canada. Then 9th is Lewis Redshaw in the Hawkeye race. That's good to see a Hawkeye in the top 10. But even better, look at the effort that James Shepherd put in. His first race for Red 5, and he's managed to put that car into the top 10. What an effort he put in there. Fantastic. Obviously, we said that the Red 5 is one of the most developed cars out there on the grid. But just need a decent driver in there, in respect to either the likes of Jeff Mead or, of course, Gavin Thomas, who is the ex-team owner. But nonetheless, just needed a good touch of leadership in that one. 11th is Simon Cattell. I'll quickly go through the rest of the grid. Losky was 12th. Florian Strauss, in his first qualifying session for Red 5, has put himself 13th. 14th is Boyd Bryson as well. He's been actually quite impressive in Super Cup in the past few races. He's not been too bad. 15th is Kieran Riley, teammate, so the two Woods cars are in close proximity to each other. 16th is Mark Stanton for Constant. 17th is Vinod Moodley, who's out on track, and that's a bit of a graphical glitch, so apologies for that. 18th we have Keith Story in the second drag racing car. 19th is David Stanton. Actually, they've just changed. They've probably lost one of the drivers. Then the rest of the grid is Mark Wicks, Daniel Lovett, Ben Warren, Mark Fuller, and John McLean. He'll start at the back of the grid. Losky has actually just left the Server for the second. Or for the moment, rather. Let's just take you through a couple of facts then of the circuit. Actually, we'll go with a lap then with Lucas Oiler. He's just going to go out there and do some laps here. Let's just take it on board with Lucas Oiler here to get heads out on track then. So we'll follow him around just with the TV cameras here. A few facts about track then. This circuit, of course, was built in time for the first Grand Prix in 2010. And he's just practicing a start here, Lucas Oiler in the background. So this circuit here, of course, it's situated in Yeongnam in the South Jeolla province or whatever kind of name that is in South Korea. The circuit is 5.621 kilometers or 3.492 miles. It's situated 400 kilometers south of Seoul and near the port city of Mokpo. Especially, in fact, the street circuit area is full of the harbour and obviously the yachts and all the boats situated there and the hotel places. That's where you get quite a few spectators watching on there. The capacity for the circuit in terms of spectators is 135,000. And the track itself, it consists of 18 corners with 3 high-speed stretches, 5 slow turns, 2 ideal spots for overtaking, and it's an anti-clockwise circuit, or counter-clockwise if you like. And the race is going to be 55 laps for a total race distance of 309 kilometres. And using the escape road there is Lucas Oiler. A bit naughty there, but nonetheless he continues on his way. And as we said, this circuit is part permanent and part street circuit. So at the moment we're on the permanent section. And then we come into especially the final sector. It's the very twisty and windy section with some very angular corners and 90-degree corners and very slow speed corners. So you need a lot of grip and mechanical grip and downforce from, an aerodynamic grip as well. It is designed as more of a street circuit because they're looking to possibly expand with the different buildings and hotels and skyscrapers and businesses around there, so they can develop and make it a bit more of a viable economy for South Korea around here. Information about circuits, because it's a relatively new circuit, the slippery asphalt, so it could cause graining. But what we'll do quickly, we'll jump on a lap here with Lucas Oiler. We was going to, but actually going to the pits. So we'll see if we can find someone else that we can do a lap with. Let's have a look. Is anyone out there on track? Just cycling through some of the drivers here to see if we can find one. We've got our 4th place guy, OJ Clark. Now, is he going to go out on track? We've got one of the Gowering here to see if we can find someone on a lap that we can actually go out and got Boyd Bryson. We'll go on to this one, and Boyd Bryson is 13th. So on board then, down the straight, 185 off miles an hour into turns 1 and 2. You need an early exit and good early on the power here to get a best possible exit through turn 2. That's quite flat through there. Onto this 1.2 kilometre back straight. Just shy of 200 miles an hour. Bring it to the left hand side for turn 3 and spot the apex on the right hand side down to about 50 miles an hour. Hard braking around the 100 metre area. And traction is not too bad out of this corner, so he takes it nice and easy. Clips the apex just spot on there. Turn 4, up towards he approaches about 185 miles an hour, past the support pits on the right hand side. It's a very tight corner, first gear you need through here, it's a long left hander. And just to this next section, keep the revs and the speed up through turns 5 and 6. You need a good rhythm and you need patience to do all these 3 corners here. and especially through here, turn 6, clip the curb nicely and get a nice exit through here to set yourself up for the sweeps of turn 7 and 8. Approach it flat out, over 70 miles an hour through here, ultra fast section here. Down 2 gears to about 4th or 5th gear. And then through turn 9 and then turn 10, hit the apex about 65 miles an hour. And then head up towards turn 11, as we said, this long left-hander. Very wide radius, double apex. Tightness near the end, 150 miles an hour through there. It gets blocked by one of the Red Archer cars. Now through turn 12, lots of downforce needed at about 90 miles an hour. Turn 13, 140 miles an hour. Plenty of commitment needed through there. Turn 14 is 110, turning from the edge of the wall. Turns 15 and 16, effectively one long sweeping arc, as we said. Important to take good speed. Onto turn 17, a long right-hander. You can feel the G-forces on the car. Turn 18, mind the curve on the left-hand side, flat out through that left kink, and down the pit straight for one lap of the career international circuit. And we'd like to thank Boyd Bryson for taking us on that lap, because that was a very decent lap to take us round, and he promptly goes off into the grass at turn 1. So that's him finished for the moment. And just waiting for warm-up to finish. In fact, warm-up in fact has finished. We're just watching here Matt Clipp, who is actually top of the warm-up standings. Only 3 cars have actually gone ahead and set a lap time, so not too bad. Just going to quickly test the end cameras here, just to make sure we've got some decent cameras to show you. At all, doesn't look too bad. See some of the action going on here. Possible if we can. That is the exit of the pits, I think. Apologies for that, just trying to sort out the cameras here, so if we can show you some action. Turns 1 and 2, that's actually the... Yes, that is turns 1 and 2, so if we know which cameras to take then. So just quickly to run down the 3 times, a bit irrelevant, but we'll take them 3 times. So Matt Clipp would actually set the fastest time on that session, 1:44.77. Then we had Boyd Bryson, excuse me, who we rode on board with, 1:41.098. And then John McClane in the Synergistic Motorsports car, 1:41.777. Waiting then for the go ahead to move sessions, and we'll then go ahead and take you on to the warm-up lap, and we'll run through the grid one more time and take you through it promptly. So just bear with us whilst we go ahead. That start procedures to go through. There we go. Wait. Wait for this warm-up lap to commence. We'll take you through the grid in due course. We've got just a few seconds left until we get started. 10 seconds before they have to be on the grid and start this warm-up lap. And we're going to get ready for this warm-up lap. And again, good chance to get heat into the tyres, get them all started. Here we go. This is the grid for the Korean Grand Prix for 2012. So Lucas Euler is your pole position man. Second place on the grid, one effort put in by Lee Morris, put it on the front row of the grid for Drake Racing. Third place is Dave Carl-Smith for Green Stripes Racing. Fourth place with a last-ditch qualifying effort. Actually, no, it actually isn't. Sorry, OJ Clark is fourth. And fifth place is Nick Roller, who's just ahead of him. So obviously you'll have to let OJ Clark pass, of course. Sixth place is on the grid, Ruth Easterby. Good effort from him with a Nijo Racing machine. Seventh is Jarl Tyne, another strong, solid qualifying effort from him on his third start in Superleague for Nordjern. Eighth place on the grid is David Judd, another solid overall qualifying session for Red Archer. Ninth place on the grid is going to be Lewis Redshaw, and 10th is going to be the first of the Red 5, newly presented Red 5s, with James Shepherd cracking the top 10 for that car. 11th place is going to be Simon Cattell for Kono Sport, slightly disappointing session for him. And in 12th place is going to be Pavlovsky in the second Nordjern Racing car. 13th place on the grid is Florian Strauss in the second Red 5 Racing machine. 14th is going to be Boyd Bryson in the first of the Woods Racing cars. Alongside him is his teammate Kieran Ryan, the Irishman. 16th place on the grid is going to be Mark Stanton in the first of the Constant Racing cars. And then we've got Vinod Moodley in the second Hall Car Racing car. Alongside him is going to be in 17th place, is Sorry, 18th place is correct, sorry. It's Keith Story for Drake Racing. 19th place is going to be David Stanton. 20th place on the grid is going to be Matt Clipp in the Green Stripes Racing Machine. 21st is Mark Wicks in the second Kono Sport Car. 22nd is Daniel Lovett. First time he's driven one of the synergetic cars on track. 22nd place on the grid. 23rd rather is Ben Warren in the second Nijo Racing car. 24th is Mark Fuller for ST Racing in the sole ST Racing car, I believe. And 25th and last on the grid in the back of the field is John McLean for Synergetic Motorsports. So, see here, Lucas Euler bringing the cars around onto the grid. Now, as we said, it's a slippery surface, so this could possibly promote graining should we get any throughout the race. But of course, Euler just trying to stack the pack as best he can around this last couple of corners, just so that the car's not going to feel like they're sat there on the grid for too long. Just that overheat, but actually got quite a gap to the cars behind him, so just quite keen to get on the grid and get this race on. Get this race started. Top three, and you see them on to their grid slots. The OJ Clark just moving into his, and we are almost all set then. 55 laps. This Korea International Circuit. First time we visited here. Waiting for the start. Then waiting for the start. Oh, apologies for the cameras here. See if we can try and grab you some action into turn one. If we can, that's probably the wrong camera there. Here we go then. Wait for the lights to come up. Wait for those 5 red lights. And when they go out, for the first time in history for GPVWC, with lights out, and away we go here in Korea. And up towards the first corner, a bit of a mix-up in the midfield. Down towards turn 1, look at Carl Smith. Good stop for him up into second place. And Euler goes wide through turn 1, but it is Euler who leads. And through the first couple of corners, it is Euler who leads from Carl Smith in second place. We're going to quickly look at Carl Smith and Morris who are battling. Look at Morris then, trying to go down the outside up towards turn 3. And we've also got Clark and Roland battling just behind them. And look at Royce trying to go around the outside into turn 3. And he might just get the grip if he has it. Oh, bit of contact there, but he's managed to get through. And now he's also going to be under attack from Nick Roland. Look also at Jarl Tyen. Jarl Tyen is going to try and take 5th place from OJ Clark. What a start he's put in the Red Archer as well. He's going to try and go around the outside. And look at also Morris trying to attack as well. Look at Tyen's done it around the outside for 5th place. And then Monster, look at, oh, he's hit the back of Roland's car. And also Clark has gone ahead of him in the Concertina effect. And it's a very, very Concertina field as they run through the first few corners of the first lap. Euler already trying to streak away at the moment, but just behind them is actually, we'll look here, sitting behind here on board with Dave Carl Smith. Just behind him and lurking behind is the ever menacing presence of Lee Morris as they go round turn 11 for the first time in 55 laps. And you can see Morris is absolutely giving it everything to try and stay with him. And already the gap is only between them about 4/10 of a second. You can see it's a lot closer at the moment. But we'll quickly switch then to our leader Lucas Euler, who comes across the line. And look at the gap he's building up already here. He comes across the line, comes across on my timing screen here. And look at the gap he's built already. It's another Vettel-like start from Euler. He's crossed the line. He's a second ahead already of Dave Carl Smith. It's Euler who leads the field then, from Dave Carl Smith in second. Then Lee Morris in third. And in 4th place we've got Nick Roland, who's now trying to tag onto the back of these two. He's pulled away in 5th place from Jarl Tyen. 6th at the moment is OJ Clark, but he's coming under attack probably soon from Ruud Heasterby. 8th at the moment is David Judd, he's held station there. 9th, of course, is Lewis Redshaw. And look, he's trying to go around the outside as we catch it here. And also look at James Shepherd in the red 5, and Simon Cattell as well. Look at this then. We've now going to go on board with Lewis Redshaw. He's got David Judd in the tow. Tries to go around the outside, breaking into turn 4, and goes quite deep. And look at that, Judd tries to do the switch back into turn 5. Battling hard here. And, has to really back out of that one. Oh, where's the... Got some battling again. Tyen's gone to second. What's going on there then? Because Tyen's gone all the way to second. We'll have to see a replay of that so we can. Let's have a look here then. Now what happened? Because we can probably see if we go forward a couple of cars. What happened? Oh, Morris went... Oh, that's what happened. Oh, they all got Constantine up, and the loser in that one was actually Nick Roland. He's dropped right back to 7. And Morris then is having to battle with Tyen. So it looks like Carl Smith and Morris got caught up with each other. And that allowed Tyen to take an advantage and just sweep past all of them. And look, at the moment, you can see that Tyan is actually the man who's causing the train. Look at Carl Smith again, look. And more importantly, Morris has got past Carl Smith, so he's going to have to really try and hold him off. We're going to see if we can go on board here. And look at this at the back here, look at that. Look at Carl Smith, he has the inside line. Will he have a look down the inside? You might just do that. And holds him off for the moment, does Lee Morris. He's going to try and catch up to that Norwood in front of him. And also look at OJ Clark. Look how racy OJ Clark's looking. OJ Clark with a fantastic performance so far. And there he is, look. He may have a look up into turn 3, has a bit of a look, but he's not quite close enough. And behind him, I think, there's a battle going on between Heasterbeek and Junt. But look at Heasterbeek now, he's up to the back of OJ Clark now, so this could be quite an intriguing battle that's going on. As you'll quickly go back to Heasterbeek here, riding on board. And not much going on in terms of back and behind, but look at the train that's forming up behind Jarl Tyan here. And for one, this must be really frustrating Lee Morris. We're looking at Lucas Euler here. Sweeping now through turn 9 and then through turn 10. You now look at Carl Smith as well. Carl Smith is really hounding the back of Lee Morris here. These two have had some brilliant battles in the races that they both contested with each other. And you can see them, Carl Smith trying to go rally outside of turn 11, but he can't quite make the move stick. And now he's trying to force the issue here, and Morris will be really frustrated. He needs to get past Tyan as quickly as possible, because the quicker you can get past him, then the better he can try and extend the gap. And also, it will cause nuisance for Dave Carl Smith, who has to try and get past the Norwegian as well. But looking after the final corner, and look at the toe Carl Smith has here. Going to quickly go to on board here with Dave Carl Smith as he tries to look down the inside, and is he going to have a look up the inside here for turns 1 and 2? He's not quite closer alongside. And he's now going to watch Lee Morris as he can try and get into the toe of Jarl Tyan here. And the Drakes do have fairly decent straight line speed. He's getting ever closer down the straight here. Darts out to the outside. You can see the darts to the inside. He's going to try and dummy him into turn 3. And Cosmic does very deep under the brakes, but he manages to make it stick. And also, I think Heasterbeek has just got past OJ Clark. But we're going to see this now from the outside view. And look at this. Clark and Heasterbeek side by side down towards turn 4. And Clark is going to get it back now. And he does. Just about, but Heasterbeek will try and hold the inside line for turn 5, but no, Clark has covered him off, and that's good enough for him. So he now heads up back into 5th place. And Roland, actually, I'm surprised that Nick Roland isn't actually making that much headway into these two. I'm quite surprised actually. And OJ Clark, hold on. Now Clark is. You know, watching my live figures. Oh, there's battle going on already. We've got a change for 3rd place, I've just seen, and Carl Smith is ahead of Morris, but look at Morris for the gap the inside again at turn 11. And Clark is getting into this one as well, look. Major stuff. And meanwhile, looking at the front, I was going to say about Euler, but look at Morris again trying to battle down the outside of Carl Smith, but he can't quite make that one stick. And now he's battling. Look at the train that's fallen behind it, because now this is holding up Heasterbeek and Clark and also Roland as well. So this battle that's going on, in fact, it's Morris that's now the catalyst. If you look at this, Carl Smith is now free, and then look at Heasterbeek going up the inside, or trying to go up the inside of Clark there, and look at Roland as well. And just behind, James Shepherd and David Junt are having a really big battle going on here for 8th place. There's battles ready here, so Ready Career is providing some pretty decent and entertaining racing, especially down these long straights on the first sector of this track. I'm trying to see David Junt here as James Shepherd. What a fantastic effort he's putting in so far to haul that Red 5 Racing car up to 8th place. And Jarl Tyan and actually Dave Cosmith starting to pull away a little bit, or are they? Because Tyan's he's got a couple of car lengths over the Green Stripes Racing machine. And if you just look here, you see the slight gap starting to form. But all the while, just quick looking back up at the front, and Lucas Euler has a lead of 5.3 seconds already. And we're only into lap 5 of the Grand Prix. That's an unbelievable effort from the German. We know this Midnight car is good in the right hands. And Clark, that was a bit wide out of turn 10. And now Heasterbeek's bothering him once again. We're going to quickly look on the rear wing of the OJ Clark. You see here, Nick Roland is also just lurking behind the Nijo Racing machine here. Sweep through turns 14. Then a double right left-hander of 15 and 16. Long right-hander of 17. Let's quickly have a look and see what's going on with some of the cars in front. And Morris is actually falling away a little bit from Carl Smith. He's closer slightly under braking, but it seems as though that Carl Smith is a bit more comfortable with the car that he's got underneath him. Morris, meanwhile, we said he's been struggling mostly, but been a fantastic effort to put that car second. He currently lies fourth. And also look just behind. Got a battle for sixth going on. That could be Roland and Heasterbeek. Roland tries to go up the inside of turn 3. A bit of contact, but he has managed to hold it. Just about, but will Roland have a bit of traction? He will, just about. And is he going to be able to stick it down the outside for turn 4? Then they go side by side towards the braking zone. And Roland tries to sweep it around the outside. He'll have the inside for turn 5. And has a look again. They're still side by side up towards turn 6, but surely they won't do it through turn 6. Not quite, but look at the exit that Roland got through turn 6. Much better line. But Heasterbeek went wide. He went too deep through the corner, and Roland's going to go round the outside. And has he managed to make a stick? He has. What a fantastic overtaking manoeuvre from Nick Roland. We're going to get a replay of that, because that was absolutely fantastic. What a fantastic move that was. We'll go on board with it. Watch this here, look. Watch this. Round the outside we'll go through that. He just sticks it round the outside, keeps his foot in, and just sticks it. Has the inside for turn 8, and what a move that was. Fantastic stuff then from Nick Roland. He lost it again. Well, that was short-lived because Heasterbeek's got it back, so just ahead, we've got a train that's actually forming now. And Carl Smith, well, this is interesting because Tyne, I think, is actually he's backing Carl Smith, I think, back up into the likes of Morris, and also look at OJ Clark as well. OJ Clark, 5th place. He's now finally he's had a decent car underneath him. Now he's got a chance to shine. Now he can show what he's really made of, and now he's really giving it some. Trying to chase on Lee Morris here. And this long 1.2 km straight is fantastic for slipstreaming. You can really get some good battles going on here and whatnot. Still, his battle. Look at Tyne, went very deep through turn 3. You saw there, and look at Morris then. And Morris has got a fantastic run down towards turn 4. That's where all the action is at the moment. And Morris looks to the inside. Will he manage to get 3rd place? Answer is he locks up, and he might just make it sick. Carl Smith has that inside line again, but Morris may just hold on to it, and he has. Morris takes 3rd. And now Tyne's in close proximity, so you might be able to even nab 2nd if he's quick enough and if the car has the grip. He's got the confidence in that drag racing car. He may just have the speed and the grip to catch up and pass the Nordstern if possible. Whereas the legendary Murray Walker said, passing is one thing, the catching's one thing, passing is certainly quite another. Fantastic scrap going on. The gap at the moment now, whilst they've all been fighting amongst themselves, the gap now to Euler, he's got a magnificent 8.3 second lead up at the front, and look at the battle behind him that's going on, and look at Morris. He's got so much better traction and grip at the moment than Tyne has, and he's really giving it. He might even have a great run onto the pit straight to take that 2nd place. Here they come through turn 17, and look at Carl Smith as well. So this is another catch-22 situation, and Morris actually loses out through the fast corner, and here comes Carl Smith then on board with Morris. Here he comes down the pit straight, and Carl Smith will have a look up the inside. And is there going to be any contact? Not quite. But Morris holds on to 3rd place. But look at this. He's in a compromised situation. It's a sitting duck here for Carl Smith at the moment. Down the slips, in the slipstream, down this 1.2 km straight, down towards turn 3. And OJ Clark may have a look as well. He's only in 5th place and just behind. And Carl Smith goes too deep. Carl Smith goes way too deep. And you see him now on the outside of the track. And he goes way too deep. Look at this. Now look at Morris. Morris has now got a great toe onto Tyne. This could be for 2nd place. Is he going to do exactly the same he did to Carl Smith? And he does. It's a carbon copy of what he did a lap ago. And he actually has the traction to hold 2nd place before turn 5. So Morris is up to 2nd. Tyne's down to 3rd. And Carl Smith is actually holding on just about to 4th. And also look at Heasterbeek then, monstering the back of OJ Clark's car. So look at also David Junt. Just saw their flash through. So David Junt actually. No, that's actually James Shepherd, excuse me. Not David Junt. Junt's back down in 10th. He's now tagging on the back of Nick Roland, and look at this battle that's going on here. It's a massive train of cars, about 7 of them together, all scrapping for these positions 2 down to 8. And Tyne and Carl Smith are also battling as well. Look at this, side by side with each other, and look at this. This is fantastic racing this circuit's providing. And Carl Smith goes to the outside of Tyne. Is he going to go too deep? They bang those slightly, and again. And now here comes OJ Clark. He's also trying to fend off Easterbeek and Roland and also Shepherd. So they're all literally one huge procession as they come up the pit straight. And look at Carl Smith have a great toe, he's got a magnificent toe. Onto the pit straight, and here they go. Here comes Carl Smith up the inside. Has he gone too deep? The question is, no, he hasn't. He has managed to take third place then. And now Ty, he's now in stitching with Carl Smith. Now, is he going to have enough straight line speed here in the toe? He's getting closer and closer now down towards turn 3. Tries to do the dummy on the outside, but Carl Smith covers the inside line. And again, who's going to be last of the late breakers? It is actually going to be Carl Smith. And Ty tries to do the switchback, but Carl Smith sticks that Green Stripes racing car right in the middle of the circuit and makes it as wide as possible. And just behind them, let's have a look and see what's going on behind just about. Well, we've got OJ Clark here. And the Rollers actually got past Easterbeek. Rollers has got past Easterbeek into turn 4. And look at James Shepherd as well. He's having a magnificent run in the Red 5. We haven't seen really the Red 5s that competitive all season. But now they had a new owner, 2 new drivers. They've got a brand new lease of life, and it's fantastic. The other one is back down, I believe, in 13th place. We're trying to keep track of some of the other battles just behind. Where is actually Lorraine Strauss? He's still... Lorraine Strauss, he's down in 20th, so he's had a bit of a disaster there. Not quite sure what's happened. And we had John McClane's out of the race, unfortunately. As we're seeing quickly, let's quickly switch to 5th place. Because we've got now, Tyne has now lost out to... well, of course, he has lost out to Dave Cosmic. He's now pulled away a little bit. Now look at this. It's now OJ Clark's turn here. OJ Clark, now can he get any closer to Jarl Tyne? And this is quite unfortunate for Tyne because he looked so promising in Monaco and in Canada. Actually, there's 3 cars out. Actually, we've got Willard Moodley out with suspension damage and DNFs for Matt Clip and John McClane. On board with OJ Clark here. We look behind, and he's actually pulled a little bit of a gap now to Nick Rowland, who is behind him in that midline. And also look at James Shepherd. And also look at Clark then. Tries to go down the inside into turn 3 to pass Tyne. Will he have good traction? Not quite sure. He'll have the drag then. And again, it's exactly the same situation that Morris got him here a couple of laps ago. In fact, exactly a lap ago, I believe. And here he comes down the inside to turn 4. And will Clark have it? A bit of a wheel bang there, but he's managed to keep it there. But this time, Tyne holds the inside line for turn 5. And of course, this battling. Oh, a bit of nudge there from Clark. And look at that now, lads. Runners get up the inside. What? Look at the traction he got through turn 6. And now he's going to go side by side with Clark through turn 7 and 8. Oh, impossible. And look at him, he's going to run and do it again. Oh, he has. That is insane driving Nick Rowland. And now he's right on the back of Tyne as well. So immediately disposes of one and straight onto the back of another. This is incredible stuff from Nick Rowland already. What a outstanding bit of driving he's putting in so far. And just trying to look behind, we've got, this is really the only real main group of cars that are battling so far on the track. This 5-car train, what a fantastic Grand Prix this is shaping up to be so far. The top 3 are really starting to pull away a little bit. With Carl Smith and Lee Morris are kind of close together in, with Morris second and Carl Smith third. But look at this battle that's going on here between these 4 or 5 cars already. Tyne, Rowland, OJ Clark, then Easterbeek as well. And Shepherd in there as well. Actually, Shepherd's got past Easterbeek, but Easterbeek pitted. I think he has. Easterbeek is in the pits at the moment. And there he is, making a pit stop. He now exits the pits. Quickly back to this battle going on here, and Nick Rowland is now he's obviously up to 5th now. He's passed Clark. Oh, what's going on here? Was there contact? I think there possibly was, because Tyne's got back past again. Rowland goes back onto the track. He's now side by side with OJ Clark. And look at these two side by side, wheel to wheel, the 2 Englishmen, really giving it some fantastic entertainment for the fans. And Clark holds the inside line now for turn 5, and he does reclaim, or does he? Because look at that, Rowland's stuck it on the inside now for turn 6, and he has kept on to that 5th place. And this midnight car is absolutely, he's got great grip through these high-speed corners. It's kind of reminds you of the Red Bull, almost, if you like. Look at this, and Rowland now attacking Tyne out down towards turn 9. Is he going to make the move stick? No, he doesn't. He goes too deep. And he allows Tyne and also OJ Clark to get back past again. Well, Tyne does, but Clark's trying to go side by side with him again. And look at Rowland again. He's going to go around the outside. And he has made it stick. And Rowland makes another unbelievable pass to make it up to 4th place. And look at this. And now Clark and Tyne are side by side. And Clark has got through. The tyres are down to 6th place. And this is incredible driving. And look at James Shepherd as well. He could be up there to get himself into 6th. This is unbelievable stuff he's putting in here. I'd imagine probably we're going to get some battles here. Look at this, also the tyres down in the slipstream of OJ Clark. Is he going to make a move at all? I'm not quite sure. Clark locks up. Roland goes deep. Clark goes deep down to the back straight once again. And look at James Shepherd actually. Look at Shepherd. Shepherd now. Sorry, that's actually Simon. Shepherd up to 7. He's on the. Look at the inside of now. Yard tying towards turn 3. Is he going to make it stick hard on the brakes here? And he managed to outbrake him. And he holds firm. He managed to get 7th. Great pass from James Shepherd. Look at Tyne. He's managed to do the switch back. Tyne's back up to 6. It's now 6th at the moment because Simon Catelli is behind him. He's just pitted. The front runners, I think, possibly may still have to pit. Well, they do, of course, but getting very caught up here in the claws. I'm just watching here. I've got on my podcast. You're seeing the view from James Shepherd here. I'm looking quickly in the corner of my eye at the view that Jarl Tyne sees. Wonderful stuff going on here. We're going to quickly cut away from that one because Lucas Euler now has a 10.6 second lead. The car's behind him. Now let's have a look and see if he's possibly going to pit at all. His pit light. I don't think his pit light is on. I can't really see it. If Euler comes in this time because the first few cars are starting to pit now. And also keep an eye on this battle that's going on ahead. And all there's was our car off with some. But Euler's carried on. Morris is still second, but he's now under pressure now from Dave Carl Smith. Then we've also got in 4th place. We've got Nick Rowland who's now starting to pull away. And it's also kicking off. OJ Clark still 5th. With now James Shepherd, a fantastic effort on his first Super League race here to put it 6th so far. What a great effort he's put in so far. And Tyne 7th, as you can see. And then back in 8th, we've got Lewis Redshaw actually, excuse me. And then 9th is at the moment is also now Simon Catelli. He's battling now with David Junt. And that's now Junt up to 9th, Catelli up to 10th. Pretty fast forward just through this then. You can have a look at the pass again. And good toe from Junt down into turn 1. And there he goes. He manages to take the place and up to 10th place he goes into the points. So, battle then for 6th is still raging. And look at Shepherd. James Shepherd's now right in the back of OJ Clark now. He's not being shy about it. Definitely giving him a hurry up. And look at this, through turn 7 8, he might even have a chance to really have a go for it. Is he going to try and go around the outside and do a Roland here? The Australian then pressuring the Englishman. Through turn 9 they sweep. And then the brakes for turn 10. And they've pulled away from tyres. Tyres obviously possibly struggling with tyres or brakes or something. Oh, he's not happy with the setup of the car. And meanwhile, see if Euler pits. He doesn't. I'm just looking on the circuit from what I can see here. You're still looking at the battle between Clark and Shepherd. Meanwhile, Morris and Carl Smith are still battling. But Morris actually has a really good run onto the pit straight. Let's quickly ride then with Carl Smith as we go down the pit straight into turn 1. Now Morris is actually doing a very good job of doing some defensive driving here. And Morris actually managed to hold him off, so that's not too bad looking through here. 4th place at the moment, you can see Nick Rowland who carries on. And Clark is of course still 5th. Oh, it's Shepherd spun! Just caught it there, Shepherd has spun. Now what happened there, because he's now also lost a position, I think, to Jarl Tyne. As Tyne coming to the pits, I think he has. Yes, he has. He's in the pits now. He's from 12th. And let's look at that again. Did he get tagged, or did he hit the curb? Or let's have a look. You see here. Oh, he put the power down too well. He spun the car, and he's lost it on the infield on turn 2. Gets going again. Now Tyne's got back going. He's now back in 11th place, so he's still going. First, the front runners are still going to see if they're going to try and pit possibly. There's Euler in the lead there, going through turn 10. As Morris and Carl Smith still battle away for 2nd place. Nick Rowland doing what he can to try and catch up to those two. He's not really making massive inroads, but there you go. That's now, and Shepherd's mistake has now allowed Clark to relieve some of the pressure. There's Lewis Redshaw doing very well in 7th place. Hasn't pitted yet, but he's not doing too bad. And also David Junt with Pavlovsky now under attack from That's Rude Heasterbeek. does pass him. And Euler's in, so Euler is in the pits here. Now what about the rest of the field? Are they coming through here? Well, Morris is in, and so is Carl Smith. This could be a battle. This could be a battle then for the. Well, Carl Smith is actually, yeah, of course, Carl Smith is in there. Has he got out ahead? I think he has. Carl Smith's done it. Carl Smith has leapfrogged Morris in the pit stop. No, he hasn't. Look at that. I think they went side by side, and wow, and Morris has absolutely just nailed him up on the inside. So they've done it, and they've actually come up behind. I think I'll try and see who that is. That might be. That's James Shepherd actually, and also look at Morris attacking away. That's Heasterbeek, sorry. And Morris goes past him, or does he? Look at this. He's battling away. Heasterbeek on the. I think he's on the fresher. He is on the fresher tyres because he pitted early. Now here comes Morris up the inside then of Heasterbeek, and he might just make that one sticky. He not quite. And Morris trying to go around the outside here at turn 5. He's trying to get the inside for turn 6, and not quite. But he's all over the back of the Nijo racing car. That's now allowed Carl Smith to close up again as well. Now who's got their temperature up to temperature the quickest? I wonder. Well, Morris went very, very deep through that corner, through turn 6 and 7 and 8, excuse me, through turn 9. Look at this, Morris, again, he's in that catch-22 situation. He's got to try and attack Heasterbeek, but at the same time hold off Carl Smith behind him. Now, looking at some other drivers that have actually come into the pits, Roland has pitted, he's now out from 7th place. Look who else is pitting now. James Shepherd now finds himself in the lead and is continuing. Quickly come back to this. It's James Shepherd now, as a result of not pitting so far, now leads the Grand Prix. So, good stuff from Red 5 already. They're leading the Grand Prix, but an Euler is only just behind him though. In seconds. And he has pitted, remember. He's on fresher rubber. Third place Curry. Oh, look at that! Third place is Heasterbeek, but never mind about Heasterbeek. With all due respect, because look at the battle going on here. Cosworth has a great toe on Morris. Down towards turn 3. And will he have a look? And he darts out to have a look into turn 3. Answer is not quite. No, he holds back and thinks better of it. And now again, Morris has got better traction on these newer tyres, so he's managed to just stay with Ruud Heasterbeek. And again, he's going to try and pressure him to turn into the sequence of corners. The question is, can he do it? So you ride on board and see what Morris sees. See the Nijo racing car dancing around in front of him. If you want to keep my eye on my broadcast, my actual race monitor screen, see if and when James Shepherd comes in the next couple of laps. I presume that he will, but at the moment you're currently watching the battle between Morris and Heasterbeek here as they click through turn 10. After that long sweeping turn 11, he gets really up close. You can see the Drake racing car has better traction and better high-speed grip through the corners. Now, James Shepherd does carry on. He hasn't pitted this time round. He's still going. Just behind him, I think. If I have a quick look on my screen, he has got Lucas Euler behind him. This is going to be a battle for the lead then. Here he comes. And Euler should definitely try and get him under braking, or can he? Because headline speed isn't fantastic, it doesn't seem, but down the inside, last of the late breakers, and Euler is up back into the lead. So that's quite a short-lived, but I'm sure a decent effort there for James Shepherd. Of course, he still has to pit, but of course he's soldiering on. Oh, and Carl Smith has got past. Carl Smith Carl Smith has got past Morris. Whilst we were talking there, let's have a quick look. Here's a replay then as we go down the pit straight. And he got him into turn 3, it looks like. Did he dive bomb into turn 3? Answer, yes he did. Right down the inside and managed to get the car stopped up. Fantastic effort. And Morris gave him a little bit of a bump on the exit of turn 3. So, there you go. They've now just exited turn 6, so this is your live pictures again. And again, Morris and Carl Smith. I have a feeling this battle is going to last pretty much all race. And also what's quite interesting thing to note, whereabouts is Nick Rowland? The answer is, well, not too bad. In fact, there he is, look. Roland is absolutely flying at the moment, as you can see, because he's already caught up to these two. Remember, all these three here that you're looking at, all these four actually rather, have stopped for tyres now. Anyone who hasn't so far up at the front is James Shepherd, and he carries on. James Shepherd still hasn't pitted yet, so he is still going on that original set of tyres that he started the race on, or he qualified on. You can probably see, just seeing Mark Fuller for ST Racing just exited the pits. There, just behind now, James Shepherd in second. And look at this, and look at Dave Carl-Smith. Getting very close to Heasterbeek. In fact, if he can stay where he is there, will have an advantage, and he'll be able to get a toe onto the back straight down towards turn 3. Heasterbeek has just managed to use the slightly superior traction of that Neo racing car. And you see Morris weaving behind there, trying to get some heat into those tyres. And what about Roland as well? How much can he close up? Well, he's just about there or thereabouts. Morris then, he's now got the toe. On board then with Dave Carl-Smith. We're looking now back at Lee Morris. Is he going to try the same move? No, he doesn't. He backs off a bit more and just bides his time. Right, see if he can pressure. Oh, he has pressured a bit more. Look at that. I was also just about to say, see if he can try and pressure Carl-Smith into a mistake, and he's done it. Look at that brilliant exit from Morris then. They're going to be side by side towards turn 7 and 8. And again, Morris sweeps around the outside, really chops the nose off of Dave Carl-Smith's car. But he manages to hold on to that one, and what a fantastic outside pass that was to move up to 4th place once again. And also look at Roland. Roland now has used this lap to really close up. Look at that, you can see literally he's now sat practically on the gearbox of Dave Carl-Smith's Greenstrucks racing car. So again, Carl-Smith finds himself in that catch-22 situation. Attack Morris, but defend from Roland. And it seems to be the battle going on behind the leader that's the more exciting one. There they go. Morris, Carl-Smith, Roland. You can throw a blanket over them almost. Current battle for 4. Effectively, it will become a net second place because essentially, actually, this is on pace. I think, I believe it is actually, yeah. So Heasterbeek has done. Heasterbeek's up to 3rd then. That's incredible. And look at Carl-Smith then trying to go down the inside of Morris. He's got the straight line speed. We'll find out in a second. He has got that inside line, and Morris can do nothing really to defend from it unless he can break deeper than he can, and he does. Chops off the nose of Dave Carl-Smith once again, hypothetically at least, and he is now up. He remains in 4th place rather, and Carl-Smith really giving him some more pressure and locks up again. This will allow Morris to get an advantage. And I mean, Roland's going to try and have a look as well. Here they go through turn 6, and again Carl-Smith not quite as tight on the apex there as Morris was. Roland now pouncing on. You know just how much grip this Midnight car has in the high-speed corners. We've seen it evidently on 3 occasions so far in this race. It's some fantastic passing manoeuvres that the Englishman has put off. But you've got 3 Englishmen all on the road. Morris, Carl-Smith and Roland. As we said, this is a battle with the net 3rd place, because Heasterbeek is now in 3rd at the moment, holding station. A quick look at James Shepherd. Is he going to come in yet? Yes, he does. So James Shepherd is now in 2nd place. He will relinquish that to the cars behind him. So Heasterbeek, Morris, Carl-Smith and Roland will all move up a place. This will be a battle for 3rd. Look at that. Has Carl-Smith got past? He has. Not quite. He's going to try and come alongside. Look at Roland. Roland will have a fantastic toe on Carl-Smith down towards the pit straight. And Morris is weaving. We were trying to get some more heat into the tyres, trying to defend. He's attacked from 2 people. And look at Roland down the inside. That's taken 2 cars into turn 1. And Roland's up to 3rd place. What a fantastic piece of opportunistic passing. Wonderful stuff from Nick Roland. Look at that. He just sent it down the inside. He got the toe from Carl-Smith, sent it down the inside of Morris. And what a move that was. And Morris trying to fight back here. And he couldn't quite do it. But he now has the toe up towards turn 4. And is he going to try and have a look into turn 4? He looks trying to look round the outside. Is he going to make that one stick? I'm not quite sure. In fact, we're going to have a look here with Morris. Trying to do the switch back. He forced Roland to go deep. Not quite. No, in fact, he's got slightly better traction than Roland did. But remember, let's see the high-speed superiority through this corner here that Roland has. Not much actually. You could look at Morris, really monster in the back. In fact, I think on that occasion, Morris had better high-speed grip than Roland did. And Morris does not want to let Roland get away that easy. It is currently a midnight 1-3 with Heasterbeek, the sandwich, the meat in that sandwich rather, Looking here, I think Simon Cattell. Looking here, I think Simon Cattell is battling along with David Junt at the moment for 8th place. We'll see if we can cut to that in a second. There's this exciting battle going on here between these three drivers. And now look at this, Morris got Carl Smith all over again. All over the back of him once more. And down the pit straight now. Is Carl Smith going to be close enough again to have a look into turn 1? Answer is not quite. And also just sort of caught a quick glimpse in the background of OJ Clark. He's not too far behind. Don't count him out just yet. At the moment, just seeing James Shepherd is down in 7th all on his own, with David Junt in 8th. As we said, a set ahead, just taking 8th from Simon Cattell. Just seeing there, Carl Smith and Morris getting very close again. The old time in a. That's intriguing. I think he just let Patlonowski through. That's a bit of inter-team changing there. Being Ty and Malowski have just gone ahead and switched places, and you can see we can get a replay of that. You can see here that Ty moves across and he lets his faster teammate at the moment through. That is Malowski up into the points. Oh, and that's Tyan. That is Tyan. He's gone straight on at turn 3. We just caught that just as that was happening. And he was lucky not to take David Stanton out. So I wonder, is Tyan suffering with brake problems? Because I think he is. I think his brakes have gone. Tyan's brakes have possibly completely gone, I think, because he's just struggling to stop the car. And there goes past, that looks like that's Lewis Redshaw. Tyan's down to 14th. He's struggling to get this car stopped. I think he's overcooked his brakes too much, and Jarl Tye is in real trouble here. Trying to soldier on, but I think possibly this could be a loss. In some cases, with all due respect, it could be a lost cause. Heasterbeek has just pitted again from 6th place. Now then, I'm not quite sure because Tye, I'm not sure if he's okay. His brakes are okay again. Whether or not they were just overheating. But he's currently 14th, so he's lost quite a lot of time and a few places. I think he's possibly trying to coast back to the pits. Could be a Norwegian retirement. So, oh no, he's off! Big twitch on that final curb, and Jarl Tye is out of the Korean Grand Prix. And just see if we can get on board with that one so you can see exactly what happened. You see here, through turn 15, tries to go through 16. Only clipped the curb and it just twitched the car sideways into the barrier, and that looks like it is going to be his race over. Well, he's managed to call it back to the pits now, as you can see. As he spun. He's spun in the pit lane as well, so this is going from bad to worse for Jarl Tye. And that's really unfortunate. That's unfortunate stuff for him. But he is unfortunately a retirement, and that's an unfortunate retirement then for number 0. Jarl Tye. He's in the pits again. Now, yeah, and he's retiring from the pit race, so that is him out of the race, unfortunately. And that is his race, I'm afraid. There's Lucas Oiler there in front you see on your screen, and it currently is a midnight 1-2. Let's run through the top 10 that we have then. As we go on lap 23 of 55, we head towards half distance. Lucas Oiler does now currently lead the Grand Prix with a substantial 19.5 second lead at the moment. So this is another domination from Mr. Oiler. In second place is currently his teammate Nick Rowland, but only just, because he still has the dueling duo of Lee Morris in 3rd place and Dave Carl Smith, of course, in 4th. They're still soldiering on with their battle at the moment to get that final podium spot. And the Carl Smith's gone! Oh no, Carl Smith has lost his front wing. He's spun it and hit the barriers. And again, we've got another unfortunate moment for a driver, and it's Carl Smith. Talk about commentators' curse. 2 drivers we've gone with, and both times we've caught them on camera. Oh my goodness me. Let's have a look at this again from on board, and there it goes. Just lost it there, so we can quickly rewind it again. And it's going to the corner, he just put the power down too early, and just loses it. And that's going to really compromise his race. So that now promotes OJ Clark up to 4th place. And there he's struggling around without that front wing. Next target is James Shepherd, and there he is. I'm just seeing him behind him just there. He will now see that. Look, he's gone very wide indeed. Carl Smith struggling trying to get around Shepherd's. You can see him there, look. Shepherd then will that promote him up to 5th place. And this now gives Morris a bit of breathing space now. And Shepherd, I think, obviously, Carl Smith will definitely go back into the pits, and he almost hits the barrier there going through turn 17. And Shepherd takes 5th place. So what a drive James Shepherd's putting in. Fantastic effort from the Red 5 racing car. And this is definitely the kind of results they've been hoping for, they've been looking for with a car that's developed as well as this one. And this will be a relief to the team now that James Shepherd has taken over with himself from Florian Strauss, who he's not having so much luck. Unfortunately, he is back down in 16th place at the moment, and he's actually kind of on his own at the moment. But nonetheless, James Shepherd doing what he can in 5th place. This will be a fantastic result if he can get himself a 5th place. Be looking through. But as we were saying, in terms of the rest of the field, we'll quickly go through again. We were saying about Lucas Euler first, then Nick Rowland second. Lee Morris down is in 3rd place now. OJ Clark is now up to 4th. You're seeing here James Shepherd up to 5th. 6th place currently is Ruud Heasterbeek in that Ninja racing car. Looks to be on a slightly different strategy to everyone else around him, so he possibly could be a dark horse to get himself a top 5 or even possibly get himself onto the podium. But we'll see what happens as the race develops and gets further on into the second half. 7th place currently is David Junt for Red Archer Racing. 8th is Simon Cattell after a kind of quiet weekend so far. He qualified just outside the top 10 and 11th. He's had to be honest, only really about an average kind of weekend. He'll get himself a couple of points. He stays at 8th and capitalises on any mistakes that anyone else can make behind him. He's just lapped the other drag racing car, Keith Story. And 9th is Pavel Anowski in now the sole Norgen racing car. I'm not quite sure why there's that graphical error there, so apologies for that. As you can see, his car's rather see-through. So not quite sure why that's going up, but apologies for that. And in 10th place now is the rejoining Dave Carl Smith, and now he'll be very resurgent. He'll be absolutely getting his foot down to try and catch up and make up as many places as he can. He's only about a second and a half ahead of Lewis Redshaw in 11th. Now, where's Lofsky in relation to Carl Smith? Well, he's actually not too far ahead. And I think possibly it's going to be a case of when rather than if Carl Smith catches him. Meanwhile, back up at the front, the gap is now down to 18.3 seconds. So maybe Euler's just doing a little bit of fuel and tyre conservation here. But now the gap's gone back up to 19.4 at that sector, so it's as far as I can see. But it seems to me now that Rowland is now starting to just chip away at Euler's lead, while Morris is just almost. Well, Morris is there or thereabouts. He's staying in 3rd place. His hope for a podium was he wasn't really looking that hopeful because behind the Midnights and the cars around him, but I have to be very thankful with 3rd place that he can achieve. And OJ Clark, you see there in 4th place. What a brilliant run he's had. He has a bit of unfortunate luck in a few races here. He's obviously with the Synergetic Motorsport team. It's been a little bit difficult times. He's now switched teams. He's now stepping in for Jari Tanskanen in this race, called the 2010 GPVWC Super League champion. But Clark doing a fantastic job in 4th, and that'll definitely net him some good points and some valuable constructors' points and prize money for Red Archer. So that'll be an extremely decent result if he can pull that one off. We've already mentioned about James Shepherd. Also, let's just mention also in 7th place David Junt. Let's give him some airtime as well. There he is. David Junt again. He had a very strong season last year when he was battling away, grabbing himself podiums and 2nd places and 3rds and points finishes and everything. He had a decent year last year with Red Archer. Been slightly off the pace a little bit in the first half of the season so far, but he's building it back up again, and he's finding the pace. And the Red Archer is one of the better developed cars, in fact one of the best developed cars on the grid, along with the likes of the Midnight and the Norgen and the Green Stripes and the Red 5. So it's up there. It's definitely one of the better developed cars, and obviously with the likes of himself. Oh, and again, as I say that, Junt gets a bit of a tank slapper on out of turn 3, and this is allowing Cattell to try and get up the inside now for 7th, and Junt goes very deep into turn 4 and holds onto the place. And again, now have Junt's tyres gone maybe? I'm not quite sure. Either that or he's actually just pushing a little bit too hard and getting a little bit ragged, a little bit sloppy. but he's pushing nonetheless to try and hold off Simon Cattell. And also another driver that's kind of surprised me in terms of how kind of average his season's been so far is Pavel Lenoski. I was expecting, obviously, of course, after a fairly decent enough season in 2011. He's been there or thereabouts in terms of points finishes. It's obviously with the loss of Joe Concilio in their team, been a little bit unfortunate. I think we have OJ Clark in the pits. We do indeed. Away from that, and he does come back through. Looks like, I think, Junts. Let me look here. No one else is actually back in the pits. So seeing here, Junts actually coming onto the pit straight now. So it looks like it's going to be the two Red Archer cars are going to be pretty much together. Clark uses the runoff there through the pit exit. Here, looking out the corner of my eye, is that Lee Morris is now caught up. He's looking to lap Florian Strauss. And this is the virtual V8 supercar. At the moment, is having a little bit of a difficult time of it at the moment in this first ever Super League race. Been chucked in at the deep end in a decent car nonetheless, but having a slightly difficult time of it as he's placed down in 16th. So that's obviously a learning experience for him on this race weekend. Morris, meanwhile, is just trying to keep with Runner, but he's not actually really being able to do it, unfortunately. The gap's kind of dropped off a little bit. He's now about 4 seconds behind the second Midnight. Second round of stops will be coming up hopefully soon. Euler continues on his way. Of course, with the likes of Euler and Roland and the highly developed cars like the Midnight, tend to get cars that just dominate quite a lot, and Midnight boys are doing just that. And more important, look at this. Just quickly go back to James Shepherd. Let's run a ball with a couple of laps with him, because again, I have to give credit to James Shepherd. He obviously, as I said, took over the team when it was kind of a bit of difficulty. Gavin Thomas relinquished the reins to the Australian, and since then, in the short space that he's managed to take over, they've changed the livery slightly. They've given the cars a new look of paint, and they brought in himself and Hans Strauss as drivers. And I think really this could be this bit of a resurgence and a new era for Red 5 racing, but we'll find out, and we'll have to wait and see. And what's quite interesting, hold on a second, let's get to 7. In fact, I do believe that Cattell and Junt are now in the pits. And I think Cattell has just... In fact, no, Junt's actually got out ahead of Cattell, so that's quite interesting. They're back out in 11th and 12th place. And yes, there they are. Back to James Shepherd then. He's only just about 6 tenths or 6.5 tenths ahead of Ruud Heasterbeek behind him in 5th. Still plugging away, still trying to get himself a result in this race. Cars that have been lapped quickly. The field has now been lapped up to Mark Wicks, who is now currently in the pits, and he's now 15th. Or he was 15th, but now we've just seen Florian Strauss go past him in that Red 5 car. Also, we've got Daniel Lovett, who's been lapped as well, as has Florian Strauss has been lapped, of course, Mark Wicks. Daniel Lovett, Kieran Ryan has been lapped, and also as Mark Fuller. I have to admit, the two Woods cars have had a bit of an average race, really. I mean, Boy Bryson is up there in 10th place. As also just seeing that Keith Story has also retired as well, and also Ben Warren, so had a bit of an attrition rate going on here. But seeing there, that's Mark Wicks. And that's just been lapped by, looks like to me, that's OJ Clark in 6th. And I think James Shepherd has just... No, actually, no. I think, actually, has Morris just pitted? I think he has. Have a look. Yes, he has pitted from 5th, so I think he's now dropped down a few places. Let's have a quick look on my... Yes, he has pitted, so he hasn't just dropped suddenly. Also, so has Roland. Roland pitted at the same time as Morris did. They currently run 4th and 5th, respectively. Roland ahead of Morris. Easterbeek. We've got Shepherd and Easterbeek now battling for second at the moment. As now, interestingly enough, I think Euler's actually he's kind of backed off the pace a little bit because now. But you see, has he been in the pits at all? I don't think he's been in the pits just now. He may have done. Let's have a quick look through my replay that I've got here. Answer is no. He hasn't pitted just yet. Maybe this lap. Shepherd and Easterbeek again. On board with Easterbeek then in the Nido racing car. Unfortunately, as we said, his teammate Ben Warren has unfortunately retired. Keep an eye on Euler in the background seat when he pits. I think we'll probably be in the next couple. I thought in the next couple of laps. As you know, watching Easterbeek now sweep through this very fast section of turn 7 and 8. There he goes, and out towards through turn 9, and then on the brakes then through turn 10. The racing car with its luminous green and black livery. Green, white and black if you like. Watching Euler at the corner of my monitor here, and Euler continues on, so he hasn't pitted just yet. He may do it, like we said, in the next couple of laps, depending on his strategy. And well, it's just the fastest lap of the race on a 1:36.850, so he's really giving it some. Probably on the end of the stint. And we're on lap 31 of 55, so we'll give you a very quick rundown then of the current top 10 as it stands right now. So Lucas Euler is still your leader by 12.5 seconds from James Shepherd. The Red 5 Racing with Ruud Easterbeek in third place. Nick Rowland is fourth. He is about, let's say, roughly about 2.4 seconds ahead of Lee Morris. Or no, he's actually further than that, actually, excuse me. He's about 6 seconds ahead, or so, 6 or 7 seconds ahead. Then Morris is about 2.4 seconds ahead of OJ Clark in 6th, with Dave Carr-Smith 7th, David Junt 8th, Simon Cattell, David Stanton for Constant Racing rounding out the top 10 so far. Your retirements so far have been in order, as from most recent to last. Keith Story retired on lap 24 with suspension damage. Yale Tyne out, as we saw on lap 21, obviously as a DNF due to his accident on the penultimate corner. Then we had Ben Warren out as well on lap 12 with a DNF, and also we had on lap 7, lap 8 we had John McLean, and on lap 3 we had Matt Clipp, and on the very first lap it looks like we had Vinod Moodley in that Hawkeye racing machine, so there's only one of those left in the race. As for Euler, he carries on. He is still going. Another fastest lap, 1:36.645, so he's quite comfortable on this set of tyres at the moment. Fuel burns down. Powers towards his next stop. The gap is now 13.6 seconds. It really is. The only question we can really say is, can anyone stop Euler? Because he's just showing an absolutely dominant display here in this race. Anyway, just calming down a little bit after its very hectic first half. Lee Morris has really dropped, as you can see, in 5th place. He's really dropped off the back of Nick Rowland. Now, of course, we've still got to wait for Shepherd and Easterbeek to make their pit stops anytime soon. So really, effectively, in some cases, that is a net second and third place Rowland and Morris, respectively. OJ Clark has got has got quite a nice gap to Dave Carr-Smith behind him in 7th. Carr-Smith, of course, trying to charge back up to the field after the mistake he made right at this corner he is at now. At the exit of turn 4 is what I'm looking at on my monitor. Well, it still carries on, so we'll have a quick look at Dave Carr-Smith to see how he's getting on. He's actually just passed with the back markers. It looks like it's Mark Wicks. They're coming up to, I think that's Florian Strauss. Yes, it is Florian Strauss. So Strauss already being lapped now by Descartes Smith. And we also have behind him is David Junt. The Junt is actually quite a way behind. He's actually roughly about, I'd say, 21 seconds behind. He's definitely pushing and seeing what he can do. Lapping Strauss here. Back at Lucas Euler, who is now still leading the race. And like the Superleague has pitted recently. In 7th is looking at Lucas Euler, who's flashing through the final couple of corners. Like, is he going to pit soon? No, he still carries on, so he's obviously happy on the stuff he loaded these on. He only made one stop as far as I'm aware. He possibly may have made 2, I think. Nonetheless, Euler carries on. I wonder maybe she'll have to make one more stop before the end of the race, I wonder. Watching the corner of my eye, my monitor, Cosper got a bit of a twitch out of turn 10. The beak. Morris carrying on in 4th place. He's actually he's about 10 seconds behind Nick Rowland here, as James Shepherd's still continuing on in that 2nd place. He's going to be well on course for it looks like possibly a top 5 finish, depending on how the pit stops work out at the moment. His gap is roughly around 26 seconds back to Heasterbeek, which is the next nearest car that he was battling before. But definitely the Dutchman and the Australian are on 2 different strategies. Shepherd, meanwhile, doing everything he can to extend the advantage wherever possible. And Pepper still carry on in second place. We've got Super. I was trying to see if there are any more cars in the pits at the moment. We have got Mark Fuller in the pits right now, as we've now got 20 laps to go. You're still watching Lucas Oil on your screen. OJ Clark in 5th, just soldering on. Actually, that's is OJ Clark there. We see on my screen his car is slightly different because, of course, on your screen you're seeing OJ Clark with the white end plates with the St George's Cross, obviously to mark that he is an English driver. But I'm still seeing on my screen, I'm still seeing the Finnish flag on his rear wing end plates, and to depict that is Jari Tanskan's car. So, of course, a bit of an upgrade in terms of the actual graphical updates on that one. Looking to see if any of the top runners are actually going to go ahead and pit soon. I mean, Shepherd is still second. And Roland is still. Apologies if there are any pauses at the moment between me talking. I'm just trying to find possibly any potential battles on track at all. The field seems to be fairly spread out once again, so in the top 10 aren't really that very close to each other. There's at least between cars, there's about at least a 4-second gap. Looking behind, say, James Shepherd in second, back to those cars, there's at least a 4-second gap to the next car around them. And the first car to be lapped at the moment in the field is Pawlowski in 11th at the moment, so his car is the first one to be lapped, and it's Boyd Bryson 12th. We'll take you through a quick run down the field again with about 19 laps to go then. Again, so Lucas Oil then still leads by 14.5 seconds, as you're seeing here, as he comes to the far couple of corners. Just have a quick look and see if at all he's going to pit at all. I wonder. Answer is no, he carries on. So second place at the moment is James Shepherd in the Red 5 racing machine. Now again, we're going to watch him through this last section, see if he decides to pit. I don't know if he can't have pit lights, so I don't exactly know if he is going to come in and pit. Doesn't he? Carries on in second place, so a strong effort from the Australian. Third place is the second Midnight Motorsport car of Roland, although Roland is really closing in on Shepherd. He's got him in sight then, only about 3 seconds behind him on the pit straight. Then it's got Lee Morris for Drake Racing in 4th, with OJ Clark in 5th, and he's about 4 seconds behind the drag racing car. And just behind them in sixth place is Ruud Heestebeek. Heestebeek himself is, I think I'm trying to get the timings messed up a little bit because, yeah, okay, I'm just trying to sort that out. We've got here, Nijo is at the Nijo is about 4 seconds behind Clark, but they're both on the same straight now. And then in front of Clark, a further 5 seconds in front of Clark, is Morris. So that's the kind of gaps that we're working with here. Then also we've got Dakar Smith, who's now on the back straight towards turn 4. You're seeing there. 8th place there is David Junt, who's now on the back straight towards turn 3. There's a lot of back straights here in Korea. And then in 9th place we've got Simon Cattell for Kerno Sport, and running out the top 10. Hawkeye, and the sole remaining Hawkeye going down the pit straight right now is Lewis Redshaw. And then quickly running through the rest of the field as we can. So Pawlowski currently runs 11th for Norwegian. 12th is Boyd Bryson, not too far behind him for Woods Racing. 13th is one of the Stanton cars, that is David Stanton, in 13th currently. In 14th, we have the other constant car of Mark Stanton. 15th is Florian Strauss in that second Red 5 machine. 16th is Mark Wicks. Kerno Sports. 17th is Kieran Ryan. The Woods Racing cars. So both the Woods Racing cars now out of the points and not really having a good afternoon of it so far, unfortunately. And then 18th currently is Daniel Lovett in the now sole remaining energetic car. Bit of a graphical glitch on your screen there, apologies for that. And 18th. 19th so far is we've got the sole ST Racing car of Mark Fuller. 20th is Keith Story, and of course now we're back down to the retirements now from Mark Fuller. So 19 cars still running, and of course the retirements so far are Keith Story, Yartine, Ben Warren, John McLean, Matt Clipp and Vinod Moodley. Those are the retirements that we've had so far in this race. And there is Lucas Euler once again, so of course really we've got to see if, I presume that Euler will have to stop again before the end of this race. The question is when that's going to happen. He carries on there. Now then, of course, again the question is, when is James Shepherd going to stop? Because he, of course, is holding that second place. And I wonder, maybe, I'm not quite sure if he can possibly hold on to that second place. We'll see. But no, he can't. He comes to the pits now, so we've caught him on his in lap. So on board with him we'll go. Face cam here, it's not really realistic, but we'll go with it anyway. So Roland now has taken second place. So I presume this will be essentially Shepherd's last stop. So Roland takes second, Morris takes third, Clark goes past now to take fourth place, as Heathby goes past to take fifth. And where's Carl Smith? Carl Smith going to take sixth? Let's have a look. Answer is... have a look and see exactly where he is. But Carl Smith in as well, but he won't take sixth place actually. Where is David Junt? Also, he jumped behind these two. Well, Junt is only coming through, you can see here, turns 14 and then through 15 and 16. So we're going to have to look and see. There's Euler still leading, and Roland's always had a bit of a knack for being able to just obviously near the end of the race. Also, of course, when both cars just starting to wind down and just keep going in the last bit of the race, have a knack for just keeping the pace okay and keeping it going. So. On board with Lucas Oil here with 14 laps to go. Just a quick recap of the race if you haven't been watching. Oil took pole position from Lee Morris on the front row of the grid and has just run away with it. Hasn't really been challenged for the lead. Only the time he's relinquished the lead, it's been through the stops. And apart from that, not counting the times he's actually, the real pass he's had to make for the lead on track as far as we've seen, is a pass on James Shepherd, who is currently now back down in 5th place after a couple more cars have pitted. OJ Clark has now pitted. So I'm wondering here possibly if in these last few laps, will the likes of Rowland and Morris and Heasterbeek, well Heasterbeek I don't think will have to stop again, but maybe we'll have to wait and see. Oiler's in. Now, Lucas Oil is into the pits now. This could be quite interesting because Shepherd, where's Shepherd? No, Shepherd's actually quite a way back down the road, so I can't really see him catching at the moment. Oil is into the pits then. You can probably see it on your screen at the moment. But yep, you can see it. I'm looking on my monitor, so excuse me for that. Looking at also Rowland is now in the pits as well. And what about Lee Morris? Is he going to enter the pits too? Yes, he does. So the top 3 are all into the pits. Now, what about Heasterbeek? Heasterbeek carries on. That's it. Look at that. Heasterbeek has carried on, and Heasterbeek, he's going to beat Rowland out of the pits. Heasterbeek does it, and Heasterbeek could be on for 2nd place. But look at the strategy he's managed to implement here. So Ruud Heasterbeek, who has already, I think, has already made an early stop, unless he has to stop again in these last 13 laps, he possibly could be on for a podium place, a 2nd place here. And also look at James Shepherd. Shepherd has come out behind Nick Rowland and ahead of Lee Morris, more importantly. So the strategy has worked out for James Shepherd and for Ruud Heasterbeek. So this could be quite an unusual podium here that we're going to see between us here in Korea. It's going to chuck up a couple of surprises. We said that Heasterbeek was going to be a dark horse in terms of what points and what positions he could get. I'm also looking through here to see if there have been any changes. I mean, obviously Shepherd's still carrying on with that kind of newer set of tyres. Well, the tyres have had a few laps now to warm up and bed in. But it looks like at the moment, Rowland has now has a 5-second gap. In these last kind of 13 laps, he has a 5-second gap to eat into towards Heasterbeek. Now, the current lap times in terms of how they've matched each other, let's have a quick look. Now, Heasterbeek's last few lap times have been looking at his last 5 lap times, 138.2, 138.1, 139.4. Possibly got bulked by traffic there somewhere, made a mistake. 138.5, 138.2. Let's compare that now to Rowland's times. Looking on the sheet here. Obviously, he just pitted here, so his last few lap times actually they've also been in the 138s. So these two have been pretty static on time in terms of. No, Heasterbeek's in. As I say that, excuse me for that, Heasterbeek is into the pits. Heasterbeek is in. He's now relinquishing that, so that will now promote, believe it or not, into 3rd. I believe it should be because he stopped early. This should now, and it has. James Shepherd is into 3rd place. James Shepherd is now the ex-member of Midnight and also one of their test drivers. Obviously, he's been in there for one of the races. His first race in a GPVWC Superleague car, and he's now got himself into a magnificent 3rd place. And what a result this will be for Red 5 Racing. Their first run since being taken over by Shepherd, who's now driving. And he could get himself onto the podium here. This could be incredible. It's going to be a Midnight, effectively, if you like, a Midnight 1-2 with an ex-Midnight driver in 3rd. Lee Morris, meanwhile, is 11 seconds back to Shepherd. He's really pushing hard to see what he can do. But unfortunately, I think possibly his chance could be falling by the wayside here. You can't discredit Morris. He's put in a valiant drive with some fairly decent overtaking moves. He's just behind him, so he's beaten him out of the pits. To the stops, and also look at Heasterbeek because now he's just stopped. OJ Clark is now caught up as well. You're still on board now at the moment with James Shepherd. Let's have a quick look and see if we can find here. Heasterbeek and Clark are still battling. You can see them here, so Clark is in pretty close proximity. But of course, this begs the question: what exactly is Clark going to be able to do, and will he be able to actually go ahead and take 5th place from Heasterbeek at some point? We'll have to find. Well, we will have to find out. But we're closing in then onto the closing laps then of the final 5th, if you like, of this Korean Grand Prix. It's been quite decent. It's not been too bad in terms of action. looking here, we've got David Stanton in the pits. He is now exiting the pits now. I'm just watching here, and he's coming at just in front of Board Bryson. And Lee Morris is having to lap between both of them as well, so that was extremely close. In fact, you probably just saw that there on camera. Well, maybe not, because you're looking at Rude Easterbeek and OJ Clark, so that's probably the reason why you didn't see that. But nevertheless, it's I have to admit, James Shepherd, what a driver, but I think he possibly could be my contender for driver of the day. To get that red 5 into the top 10 in qualifying, and then to be able to pull off a staggering drive here, this could be a fantastic result for them. And they'll need the prize money. They'll need obviously the points, because Red 5 have only scored 1 point in the whole season so far, in the lead up to Korea. That was the 1 point they got when they managed to inherit that point through those many penalties in Monaco. Quite a few drivers got grip penalties and time penalties for not staying within the track limits or cutting the pit exit. As a result of that, that promoted Jeff Mead, who was one of the drivers for Red 5, promoted them, him up into 10th, and he managed to nab a single solitary point for Red 5. And Roland's still second place. He's now come up to lap Lewis Redshaw, so that's quite interesting. Everyone up to 9th place, David Judd, has been lapped, as I'm just watching Nick Rowland Lewis Redshaw let Nick Rowland out of the way. There they are. So Rowland, I believe, with looking at how the championship stands at the moment and how this is going to affect it. Now, Euler isn't too far ahead of. Rowland isn't too far behind. Euler isn't too far behind Roland. Excuse me for that. I was trying to work out who's where in the position. Euler isn't too far behind Roland in the standings. If we look at the standings now as they stand at the moment in terms of before this race ends, Roland currently sits top with 84 points. Then it's Euler second and Morris in third. Now looking at this one, I can see in terms of how the point structure stands. If I look here, quick look at the point structure. It's 15 points for a win, so looking at how the championship would stand, how I believe it would stand, let's get this up on another tab. Sorry, I'm trying to look at these bits and pieces as and when I can here. So it's 15 points, so with Euler winning this race, he would then he'd be up to 97 points. And then with 12 points for second place, I'm trying to work this out in live time here, so bear with me. 12 points would then give Roland 94 points. So I believe that this would actually keep Roland on top. That the win will bring Euler ever closer. It'll actually give Roland 96 points actually. So it'll be 96 points to 92. So Roland's lead will be cut from 7 points to 4. Morris, he will score 10 points, he'll be 81 points, so he will retain third place. In terms of also, this will be James Shepherd, if he scores third place still, he will shoot straight up to, well I believe it will actually be, he'll be around kind of the 11th, 12th, kind of 13th place mark, depending on. So we move into the, as we said, closing stages then of the Grand Prix. Of course, concentration levels will be going down. Obviously, drivers will be getting tired. They'll be trying to get the best they can. And Roland's gap now to Shepherd is now 8.9 seconds. You see on the screen there. He's actually managed to extend it by 1.4 seconds. And I have to admit, it's been a pretty impressive, pretty interesting Grand Prix today. Easterbeek isn't too far behind Morris, so I'll have to kind of watch out for that. And also, Clark isn't too far behind Easterbeek. So, we'll have to kind of keep an eye on that one and see what happens as to whether or not Morris will be able to hold off any advances from Easterbeek. We know he's a fighter. We know he definitely defends his area in his position fairly closely. Interesting enough, let's have a quick look at the battle for 8th, because we do have one developing, and it's again between David Junt and Simon Cattell. But here they are, and Junt is under major pressure from Cattell. Major pressure, and he's forced Junt to go deep, and Cattell takes over 8th place. And no, again, not to rub it into Junt, we'll take a replay of that one. Looking through here then, up towards turn 14, and there he goes, just outbrakes himself, and there goes Cattell straight through. Through they go. There's Easterbeek in 5th. 7 laps to go. Then we've got Morris in 4th, of course. I'm just going to have a quick look through the field as we hold with Lee Morris to see if there are any battles at all going down through the field. We've had 5 drivers now been lapped twice. Just a quick note: Daniel Lovett is in 19th, Mark Fuller on 18th, Kieran Ryan 17th, Florian Strauss 16th, and Mark Wicks 15th. Those are the drivers that have been lapped twice up to 14th place, which is Mark Stanton. And quick going up through the field again from those people. So 14th Mark Stanton at the moment, 13th is Boyd Bryson, 12th David Stanton, 11th Pat. Actually, David Stanton, Pat and Boyd Bryson in close proximity to each other. Not too far away, probably about a couple of seconds. Pavlovsky 11th. Lewis Redshaw is in 10th. David Junt is in 9th, of course, as we've seen. He's just relinquished that to Simon Cattell, who's now 8th. Again, quiet race from Cattell, but he's not really been up there battling too much. Dave Carr-Smith's resurgent drive hasn't really done very. Unfortunately, after his mistake at turn 4, which is at now, hasn't really borne much fruit, to be honest. Because he's only 7th. He's about 4, just under 4. He's now about 4.5 seconds or so. 4 to 4.5 seconds behind 6th place OJ Clark. He's been a fantastic drive today. Rudy Easterbeek 5th, of course. He'll back to himself some decent points. Lee Morris still solidly on in 4th place. James Shepherd, again, we've said what a fantastic effort he's put in. And he's actually running now line and stern with his teammate Florian Strauss at the moment. He's just lapped him himself for the second time. And Nick Rowan, the course second, with Lucas Euler, your leader, as ever. With a few laps to go then. Well, they're just coming through to lap Daniel Lovett. I believe you're still looking at Lee Morris, so apologies for that. We'll see if we can change that one. There's Rudy Easterbeek trying to catch him there in 5th place. A quick look through at some of the drivers. There's OJ Clark all by himself as well, trying to chase the Nijo racing car in front of him. And there's Dave Carr-Smith chasing after Clark, so they're all chasing after each other. There's still about a 3 or 4 second gap between each other. As you see here, we're looking at Cattell and Junt once again, battling away. They're still on the lead lap. And Redshaw is having to relinquish his track position at the moment to James Shepherd. There he goes, you see him on the screen there. Well, then you see him coming onto the pit straight. Apologies if this does seem a little bit kind of uneventful in some cases, just we are trying to bring you some action as to what's going on the track. We'll check there have been no more retirements as far as I can see. I mean, Keith Story was the last retirement back on lap 24, so you see that's really how the attrition rate has gone down. Obviously there's some big braking zones, but it's kind of really, I suppose in some cases, the first sector of the track with the long straights, it's not too bad for brake cooling, but going through sectors 2 and 3 with some constant kind of stop-start corners and the angular section, in terms of that last section, which is more of a street circuit, a city course. Of course, braking could be quite tough on that one, but of course you get a chance to cool them off on these 3 long stretches of track. Boiler then, watching here bring it through turn 7 and 8, and these midnight cars have been fantastic through here all race long. Fantastic high speed grip and downforce provided, and there's Nick rolling in second, so it's going to be another midnight 1-2 it seems, unless fate intervenes here or the commentator's curse strikes again. I hope it doesn't. Or James Shepherd would, because if again, just again not commentator's curse, but if anything were to happen to any midnights, then of course that would promote, I would presume it would promote James Shepherd into either second, or should anything happen to both midnights, let's hope it doesn't. I'm sure that it won't, but looking consistent enough running on track. Gap between them is actually 11.3 seconds, so they're holding a steady gap to each other. And really, just again, it's one of the situations here in Super League where the race is starting just to calm down a bit more. Cars just trying to get to the end. We're on lap 52 or 55, so we've got about 4 laps left in this race.